I wanted to do a video to show everybody how to get a better fitting shock cover and save money while doing it at the same time. This was my first time buying any shock covers from Max Custom Design Wraps or Custom Design Prints. This is it up here, Max CDP abbreviated, Custom Design Prints. He's very popular on eBay. If you're searching anything, shocks or springs, anything related, you're gonna see the advertisement for the shock covers, and most notoriously advertised is for the X-Max because that's a really popular truck and a lot of people are buying parts for it and upgrading and stuff. So I suggest you go to the website and I'll walk you through it real quick. But off of eBay, basically you'll see for the X-Max and maybe for the Kraton, and then you'll also see like 1/8 scale, 1/5 scale, 1/10 scale for other vehicles, but not every scale vehicle is gonna have the same symmetry versus the length of the shock absorber and in retrospect to the spring. You know, some springs like for the Kraton are really long, and for other vehicles you could have a shock absorber that's just as big and it might have more of a harder and shorter compressed spring. So you have those options here. We'll get to that in a second. So what I did is I chose it for the 1/5 Kraton because that's what I have. Now, the spring for the front, or maybe just the entire shock, it's a little bit shorter than what it is for the rear. And when you're placing your order for a custom designed shock cover, you get to provide up to 2 different images that you want used on it. Perhaps if you wanted one style for the back and one style for the front, and there's actually a little column where you can leave any notes you want to leave notes. So I didn't leave any notes because I've never done this through the website and I didn't know what to expect. So I bought these. These were already pre-made. They're on the site. I selected those, and then I sent him a JPEG, I guess. I sent him a JPEG I got off of Google Images for Goodyear, and I picked the one with the best resolution. And I sent him the one for the ARRMA EXB. I'll find that. I'll show. Let me show you now. Let me show you real quick so you can see. Let's see. I don't know what I have in my photos now, so let me see what I got going on here. Recent. Let me see here. So I'm looking here. Give me a second. I'm going through my photos. This is taking a long time. Here we are. So this is this one here. Okay, that's what I sent him. I got it in the best resolution that I could get it, and I also cropped it to where I'm not giving him anything outside of this image. Now, where's the Goodyear one? Where's the Goodyear one? I'm not finding the Goodyear one, but it was about this size and quality, the Goodyear one that I sent him. So let's get to the point. Now, these in total are 7 inches long. They're all 7 inches long. Now, uncompressed, the spring for the front, which by the way, you also have to consider the length of your spring at rest. When your vehicle is at rest, you need to consider that. So you might not always want to buy a 1/5 size shock cover for the front, or have the print for the front exactly the way it is in the back. You might want to leave a note and say, make the print a little bit shorter, like a little bit more compressed for the front because of, you know, situations. So given the benefit of the doubt, the front spring uncompressed, we're looking at 4 inches. And for the rear, however much we can uncompress it, because it's really under you know, load. I measured it earlier. It was 4 3/4. It's almost 5 inches. So what's going to happen is he tells you in the details on eBay, and I believe on the website as well, he's going to tell you they're going to come a little bit longer. So the print's going to be, you know, centralized, and you're going to have to cut some off. But he tells you, you know, you take off the spring, you slide this over the spring, and the extra amount, you just roll it inside into the spring, okay, on both ends, and then you slide the spring back on with the cover on it. So for the rear, let's see here, let's switch hands. For the rear, the EXB is just like the length of the spring. It's like exactly from top to bottom. Now let me see something. This is at rest here. And this is without the batteries in it. You know, and remember, like when you're driving it and you're taking off, it's squatting. So you have all that spring being compressed, but just that rest right now, EXB is pretty much the length of the shock. So I can cut some of this extra stuff off, not all of it, because you need some to roll it inside the spring so it's snug and it looks clean. So that's not that big of a deal. It's workable. But then when I get to the front, you know, the front shock absorber and the spring is not the same length as the rear, but it's printed exactly the same. So I think I might lose some of it. Some of the EXB, it's either going to be kind of like cut off, like rolled into the spring, you know, like just a little bit, just barely at it, or I could leave it, but then it might be scrunched up a little bit, like at rest. You know, the shock cover might just be scrunched up a little bit, and we'll find out what that looks like. I'll do another video once all this is installed. We'll do a comparison and stuff. So these Goodyear ones are going to be fine, front and rear. This Fox one, it's going to be fine for the rear, but for the front, I'm definitely going to lose some of it. I'm going to lose some of it. So this is for the 1/5. Now let's get into the little tricks of the trade that I've found out here that is going to help you. So this is the home page on the website. What you'll do is, let me see where we at, shock wraps. You go to shock wraps and you go to all custom designs. So we go to all custom designs. So all these shock covers here are ones that are already pre-made, and you can also select here. I guess you have options: skull, stripes, stars, you know, Traxxas. You might have other brands on here, but there's Traxxas down towards the bottom. You got Haas. You got, you know, Haas is the model of Traxxas. You know, Camo Animals, Abstract. You know, 1/10 scale. So, but this is what you do. You're just scrolling down, and this is the first page. Now, the option to do a custom wrap is going to be on the first page. It's not going to be on the second or the third, so don't miss it. So you're on the first page, and you're scrolling down on custom wraps, and you're seeing what's available, or maybe just ideas that other people did, and he saves that design that he made so he can save time. You know, people want to choose it, you can just make another shock cover with it. Now, this one here with the question marks, this is the one you want to click to make your own custom design. And it's only on the first page. If you go to the second or third or whatever, you're not going to see that option again. So while you're still on the first page, you click that. Now there's something funny that I found on here. Now let me show you something. Right away you're gonna see that it says for the 1/5 X Max. You see it? It says it's for the 1/5 X Max, and it's $25 for 4 shock covers. And you get to put up to 2 different images. Okay? And you also have notes. Let me see if you make the notes on here. My laptop works a little bit different from the tablet. Okay, so this is my first time being on this website with my tablet. You know, I did it with my laptop and it was a little bit different. But you have the option to make notes. I suppose once you add stuff and you move forward, you have the option to leave little notes, you know. So now check this out. On my laptop, I was able to find 1/5 X Max, and it also said 1/5 Traxxas X Max. The one that said 1/5 Traxxas X Max was $25, and the one that just said 1/5 X Max only said $18. Now, here you have the 10 scale X Max, the Bandit, Rustler, Stampede, Slash, all this stuff, you know, with 10th scale. Now, here's the proof. Here's the proof. Now we're into Kraton. You see 1/10 Kraton, 1/8 Kraton. You see 1/5 Kraton? Let me show you something. 1/5 Kraton, $18, right? Now watch this. 1/5 Kraton, we have it checked, right? 1/5 Kraton. Now when you go all the way to the bottom, you see 1/5 ARRMA Kraton. It's the same thing. Kraton is ARRMA. 1/5 Kraton, 1/5 Kraton. It just says ARRMA before it. Now when you click that, it says $24. So if I was you, I would just go with the 1/5 Kraton. I'm guessing maybe there's more money on it because he has the name ARRMA in front of it, and maybe he has to pay royalties for using their name to make products like that. But I guess depending on your online device that you're on, I had noticed that with Traxxas X Max as well. It's just not showing it on the tablet, but I just showed you with the Kraton one. So what I did is obviously I want to save money. So I went with the 1/5 Kraton. It's $18, and I only used one image. I placed 2 different orders. You know, I used this JPEG with one order, and then I placed another order all over again, and I used the Goodyear one for another one. I kept them separate. So, and in my notes, I said, this is the design I want to use for my 1/5 Kraton. Like I'm, you know, emphasizing that it's a 1/5 Kraton. I don't know why there's price differences, but I emphasize this is the image I want to use in my 1/5 Kraton. Just have the letters vertical, you know, with the direction of the shock cover as opposed to this way. That was what I left in my notes, you know. So the quality is really good. It's really soft. I smelled the fabric. You know, we like smelling new things, new tires. You know, there's nothing like the smell of new merchandise. I smelled them, and they smell great. they smell clean and fresh. It's funny, but I know it's important because if I told you it smelled like fish, some people would be turned off by that. So it smells good and fresh and clean. That's great. It's really soft, and it's very stretchy. It's very elastic. If I can show you this. Very stretchy. And looking at the quality of the color print, can I do this? Looking at the quality of the color print, when I stretch it, it looks good. It almost seems that it's the color of the fabric that was used to make the design. It doesn't look like it was printed with ink. See that? Really good stuff, man. really good quality. This is very good quality. So all of these I paid $18 for all of these. Now, however, let me see if I can show you something. I saved money on one of them because I didn't notice something. You see this up here? Use code RC10 to get 10% off. I did that when I placed my last order. I noticed it and I used it. So I don't know if I can use that every time I go to place an order, or if you have that option one time when you create an account. So I'm on here now with my tablet, and see how it says log in or create an account? So I'm not logged in right now. So that's why it's showing this. If I was to be logged in, I don't know if I get to use that again or not. Let me see what happens. Log in. Let's find out real quick. Email. Give me a second. Password. Not now. Okay, so I'm logged in. I'm logged in as Gabriel. And it looks like I can still use the RC10 to get 10% off. So you can do this every time. Now, from $18 and change plus tax, when you apply the 10%, I ended up paying $16. So this was the last order that I had made, and I paid $16 for these. So now, I don't know if you were to do a 1/8 scale as opposed to a 1/5, how much skinnier these would be in diameter, like the fitment. But being that these stretch so much, they're stretchy, they're tight. They stretch a lot, but they're also very tight. So, that's fine. But I wonder if a 1/8 would also stretch over this, just be a little bit tighter, but not that it would stretch so much that it would compromise the integrity of the aesthetics on the print. But I suppose you on your end, you can do a little bit of research, and I guess you can just compare diameters of shocks, because I know that the spring on the X-Max is a really long spring. The spring on the X-Max is close to this length. So this will probably fit a X-Max a lot better than it'll fit the rear one of this, and definitely much better than the front, because the front spring on this is way smaller than the spring on an X-Max. So that's just what I wanted to share. Now, I would probably do a little bit of research and just get some specifications on like the length and diameter on a spring of a 1/5 this, a 1/5 that, 1/5 whatever, and maybe like on a 1/8, 1/8 this, 1/8 that, because all in all, you could, now that I have experience, I know that if I go to place an order for more shock covers for the 1/5 Kraton, I would say, listen, make the print on one pair, like obviously for the front, the pair that's going to be for the front, a little bit smaller. I might even give him measurements. I would be here and say, okay, my car, I put my batteries in it. Body doesn't weigh anything, but I'll put my batteries in it, and I'll make sure that it's at rest, as compressed as it'll be. Measure it, seeing that it's 4 inches, and I'll say, make it 3 3/4 on one pair. 3 2/3 or 3 3/4 on one pair, so that it fits the front properly. So that's an example of the notes you would leave in here. So now, where am I at? This, if you just Google ARRMA EXB font I suppose ARRMA EXB font or ARRMA EXB logo, you're gonna find this. I'm pretty sure anybody can find this. I think this looks great. Honestly, like this looks better than the gray Kraton ones that I seen on here. Where am I? Coming back. These here, these are nice too. But anything with color is gonna look nicer. So, what does he got on these? $17.49 for the 1/8 Kraton. But I paid $16 for the 1/5 using the coupon. And that's not bad. $16 for, I mean, you could probably send him a picture of yourself doing a selfie and he'll put it on there. I mean, whatever you want, you know what I mean? So before we get out of here, let's just take a look at some of the other ones he's got before I end this video. I like the American flag. I like the little smiley faces. He's got a lot of cool stuff. But what gave me ideas is I was online and I was just searching shop cover designs. I wasn't searching for RC. I was just searching shop covers or shop cover designs just to see what people are doing in reality that is not RC related. And I was like, you know what? You know, I got the idea for this, and then I seen that they actually, you know, had it anyway. I just wish that the Goodyear would have been wider. The length is good, but I wish it would have been wider. So now that I have some experience, how they do their prints, what the quality is, and pretty much what to expect without leaving any notes. There's the Fox ones. Without leaving any notes. So, and that's the third page. You only have 3 pages on the custom stuff. They have another page for the shock wraps that is just basic colors, and these are they're just solid colors, and just the cheapest it's going to be $12 just for a plain solid color. This blue is probably what this is. Okay, lightning, same price, design. So now here's another trick. Here's something else I want to say. If you're going to go with a solid color, or maybe just a print that isn't something like words that you can't cut off words, but you could cut off lightning. You could cut off, you know, fire. You could cut off a little bit of a flag. If you're going with a design like that, you might be able to save some money and get it for a smaller scale, or just get it for a smaller scale vehicle, but that, you know, uses large shocks. You get it? Because I'm pretty sure that this is a 1/5. I'm pretty sure there's a 1/8 scale that has shocks just as big, depending on the model. That's the point I was trying to make. So if you're gonna go with a plain solid color or something with a design that you could actually just, if this is just lightning top to bottom, see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how long or short it is, unless it's like a picture or lettering. You could save money saying, you know what, I can probably get this design for a 1/8 Haas, or I'm just making assumptions, for a 1/8 this and that, and use the coupon and pay even less than $12 and use it on the spring for a car that you do have, because, you know, we just went through that. We just, you know, sizes and different vehicles and stuff. You just put a little time into the research, you can save a little money. So I think you should give them a shot, because the print quality is really good. The print quality and the material is really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one of these pairs on this truck now, and I'll do another video what it looks like on the shock. So if you find this helpful, give me a thumbs up, share it if you think other people can benefit from this video. Thanks for watching.